Okay, welcome again, everyone, to Advanced Comp Plan Training, our part 2 with Clifton Dukes. And Clifton is just here with me, about to start. I'm just going to bring up his screen so you can all see what he's talking about. And while I'm doing that, Clifton, you might just want to say hello to everyone.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here again. We're gonna have some fun talking through the remainder of this presentation regarding the compensation plan and the benefits that can come from it. So,
yes, just while I'm getting that organised. Okay, great. Just new technology for us at the moment as well, so we want to make sure we get it right. There's whiteboard. Okay. My apologies, I'm just working out how to get that full screen onto your screen. And let's just see. All right. Now we'll need your help just to let me know what you're seeing on your screen, because it's gone a bit funny on me. So Pauline, Jen, would you let me know what you're seeing on your screen? One whole slide or the whole list? Full slide. Thanks, Jen. Full slide. I think we're good.
okay.
All right, I'll hand it over to you, Clifton.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
No problem. So, beginning this particular section of the compensation plan training, one of the questions that I'm often asked is, what type of compensation plan does Young Living have? There are varying compensation plans within the industry, and some of you may have heard of something such as a binary plan, or a matrix plan, or a stair-step plan. The one that Young Living has, and what you can refer to if anyone were to even ask, is Young Living uses a unilevel hybrid breakaway plan. So primarily we refer to our compensation plan as a unilevel plan, but it actually does have a component of a breakaway. That's why it's a hybrid, and we will talk about what that breakaway actually looks like. We use a different word, different terminology with our compensation plan, but in the industry, that's what it's known as. So with unilevel, unilevel is fairly straightforward. There are a couple of things that I want to discuss with everyone as part of the unilevel aspect of commissions. The first thing, though, is realizing that Young Living pays 5 levels of unilevel depending on the rank that a member is being paid at for the month. So in the slide that you're looking at, in order to earn commissions at the unilevel, you have to have 100 PV. And we went over last night what PV is, so we won't go over that again, but you must have a minimum of 100 PV. And then depending on the amount of organization group volume, the OGV that you have, and then if you're building to a leadership level, depending on whether or not you've built your 2 legs in order to be an executive, and then later if you've continued to build those legs and also added the other qualification of PGV, which is personal group volume, to become silver, and then gold and platinum, etc. That will determine how many levels of unilevel that you will be paid on. Now, once you have reached the rank of executive or higher, you will get paid on all 5 levels. So that's another reason why the goal with last night's training and tonight as well is to realize that the first step that you want to try to accomplish, the first goal that you want to set for yourself, is to become an executive, because as an executive, you're going to be meeting the qualification to be paid on all 5 levels of unilevel commissions. And then advancing to silver, gold, etc., you'll continue to be paid on all 5 levels. So with that, the slide shows that anyone that you personally sponsor, so that's what all the first unilevel, level 1, which should be a red colored dot, all of that would be individuals that you have personally sponsored. You are able to receive 8% on commissions for the PV that those members have for the month. Anyone that they sponsor would be considered your unilevel level 2, and you would receive 5%, and so on and so forth. So you can see that level 3 is at 4%, level 4 is 4%, and level 5 is paid out at 4%. Now, one of the questions that I like to ask at this point is, and this ties in with last night's training, so maybe think back to what we discussed in the intermediate compensation plan training last night, but when you see this particular unilevel commission slide and you recognize that everyone on your first level is paid at 8%, why would anyone not want to have everyone they sign up part of their first level and put everyone as unilevel level 1, because that's the highest percentage that they can be paid? And if you think about that for just a little bit, you'll realize that by doing so, that there are 2 things that that's going to cause. One is it's going to mean that every single individual that you sign up, you're personally responsible for helping them as far as questions they may have about products or compensation plan or Young Living in general, etc. So that would be, or could be, a lot of people that you are then personally responsible for helping. And typically, we only recommend that you have somewhere between 10 and 15 members that you personally sponsor, just so that you can try to manage that well enough so that everyone is getting the attention and the help and support that they need. And at the same time, trying to help others in your organization to also become leaders and giving them the chance to have the responsibility of helping others. Now, the second reason why you really would not want to personally sponsor everyone that you introduce Young Living to is because that is going to be difficult for you to advance and rank. So if you're trying to build the legs necessary to rank advance to executive or rank advance to silver or to gold, etc., you have to be placing members within those leadership legs, those qualifying legs that you're trying to build, and trying to put members with good leaders that you have so that you can have others helping you to build your organization and not you doing all of the work all on your own. And if you just put everyone front level to you, that's going to make it very, very difficult in order to build those qualifying legs and to build that leadership within your organization. So this particular slide just represents the percentages at the levels, and then the 5 levels, in which would be the maximum number of levels that Young Living would pay on. So let's go to the next slide, where we see the example of what that actual payout looks like. So going back to our 2 leaders, we have Sally and Leah. So there are your 2 legs again. And Sally is someone that you've personally sponsored, and Leah is someone that you've personally sponsored. And so on Sally's leg, you can see that you would earn 8% off of Sally's volume because she is someone that you've personally sponsored. Bill is someone that Sally has personally sponsored, so she's going to get the 8% unilevel commissions based on Bill's PV. And then Bill is second level to you, and you're going to receive the 5% unilevel commissions from Bill's volume. And then you'll notice that Bill has personally sponsored Tom, and it shows that Sally is going to get 5% of unilevel commissions off of Tom's volume, because Tom is second level to Sally. Now, in addition to that, the question I like to ask about that particular side of the organization is, will Bill receive any commissions based on Tom's volume? And he will, because Bill has over 100 PV. He has 150 PV. So he would qualify to receive 8% of Tom's volume because Tom is first level, unilevel to him. The next question I like to ask is whether or not you would receive any commissions based on Tom's volume. And Tom would be third level, so you would receive, based on Tom's being at the third level, unilevel, 4% off of Tom's volume that he's completed. And then if you go down the other leg, you can see that Leah is first level to you, so you would receive 8% commissions off of Leah's volume. And then Leah has sponsored Rachel, so you would receive 5% off of Rachel's volume because that's second level, unilevel to you. And Leah is going to receive the 8% from Rachel's PV, which is first level, unilevel commissions to Leah. So that is a very brief representation of what the unilevel commissions might look like or what it might pay out like. And hopefully that helps in recognizing exactly how that commission works. Now there is, in the next slide, an example of what we call compression. So compression isn't anything that members necessarily need to focus on too much because it's something that's taken care of based on the programming that we have for the calculation of the commissions each month. But compression is a fantastic way in which Young Living shows just how generous it wants to be to its members. And the way that compression works is that Young Living, and primarily the owners of Young Living, Mary and Gary, decided that they wanted to try and maximize the unilevel commission payout for members as much as possible. And one of the ways to do that was to say, if a member did not complete a minimum of 100 PV for the month, that the way the system works is it will continue to look down the leg of an organization until it finds the first individual who has completed 100 PV. It will sum that volume and it will pay all of that volume as part of one level. So in this example that you see right now, you can notice that you have an individual with 300 PV, and that is someone who is first level to you. I'm looking primarily at this yellow or gold dot where the member has 300 PV, and you are going to receive 8% commissions off of that member because they are first level to you. Then if you look underneath them, they have someone who has completed 50 PV. And since that's less than 100, the way that the programming is designed is it will continue to look down even below that member to see if there's someone who has 100 PV. And you can see the next person below them has 70 PV. And so then it looks down another level to see if that next individual has 100 PV and they have 50 PV. So then it goes down another level until it finds someone who has 100 PV, and that then becomes the sum of each of those four members becomes the sum of second level unilevel and is all paid out at 5%. Now, a question that's been asked to me before is what happens if there isn't someone that has 100 PV at the bottom of a particular leg? Well, the way the system works is it looks for the next person with 100 PV or until it gets to the bottom of the leg. It's one of those two things that's going to happen. Either it will find the next member that has 100 PV or it'll go all the way to the bottom of the leg. And then it will still sum all that volume and pay it out as part of that level for the unilevel. The other thing that this hopefully helps everyone to recognize, though, is that even though unilevel is paid on 5 levels, a maximum of 5 levels. It really can pay a lot deeper than that, depending on whether or not members have 100 PV. If everyone in your organization has 100 PV, then it will be a strict 5 levels of payout. But if members in your organization have less than 100 PV, you could be paid many, many more levels deep than just 5 levels. And so there is a fantastic way in which to maximize and benefit on your unilevel commission payout. Just one other example. I think that, again, this slide is probably something that you can familiarize yourself with the more that you look at it and study it. But if you notice on that very far end, you have the first member where they have 50 PV. And so instead of paying on that 50 PV, we look down until we find the first person that has 100 PV. And this is where there are the green dots. And the next person under them has 250 PV. So that member plus the member at the top that's personally sponsored with the 50 PV would be considered level 1, in which 8% would be paid. And then the next person with the 300 PV would be considered level 2, paid at 5%, and the person at the bottom with 200 PV would be considered level 3 and paid out at 4%. So we'll go ahead and move on from there. Compression, again, is just something that is automatically calculated, not something that anyone necessarily needs to think too much about, but is a great way in which to explain just how generous Young Living is with its compensation plan payout. So building the foundation of your organization, you want to try and sponsor within the first 3 levels. And the reason for that, you're going to see in a few slides coming up, the reason why you would want to try and sponsor within your first 3 levels. There's additional payout that can take place that will be beneficial to you as you continue to build your organization. The other reason that you would want to try to build within those first 3 levels is because, as that second bullet point mentions, those on your levels 3, 4, and 5 can quickly build beyond your 5th level of payout. And there's always going to be someone that is deeper or further down in your organization that you want to help, and you likely will be helping them, but they're going to grow beyond the level of which you can be paid. So that's why you want to try and teach others within your organization to build within the first 3 levels, and then you yourself also to try and build within the first 3 levels if at all possible. This slide does also represent that if you are at the distributor level, so you just have 100 PV, then you will be paid a minimum of 2 levels of unilevel. You'll qualify to be paid on 2 levels of unilevel. At the rank of star, which requires the 100 PV and 500 OGV or organization group volume, you can be paid up to 3 levels of unilevel. And then senior star, which is 100 PV and 2,000 organization group volume, you can be paid 4 levels of unilevel. And then, as already mentioned, executive and higher ranks are paid at 5 levels of unilevel. Now, with that, I do like to also share just a very quick and brief slide regarding family structure. If you have family members that are joining Young Living, it is often a good practice to try and group those family members who are going to work well and build well with one another, not to sign each family member up as someone that you personally sponsor, and that you personally sponsor each and every family member, putting them all on your first unilevel. That can create some problems usually, and so it's better to figure out which family members have the personalities that they're going to work well with one another and strengthen each other and help one another, and then try to group them together. So I'm just going to leave that slide as just a brief comment on that, but just something to think about as you're building or structuring your organization. Now, the next part of this training is about the Rising Star Team bonus. And this is a fantastic bonus that a lot of members have either forgotten about, or they don't realize how close they are to qualifying for it. And so they end up not qualifying and losing out on getting some of the payout from this particular bonus. This is the one bonus that does require you to be on a 100 PV Essential Rewards auto ship for the month in order to qualify for the bonus. It also is the only bonus that requires the 100 PV Essential Rewards auto ship for each personally sponsored member that is structured as part of this bonus. Now, what this bonus actually entails is taking 1% of the global commissionable sales for Young Living within a month, and then dividing that amount by the members and the number of shares that those members qualify to be paid in order to determine what the share value is for the bonus. So this share value can fluctuate. It can go up or go down based on the global commissionable sales for the month and the number of members that qualify for the bonus and the shares that they qualify to be paid on for the bonus. So just realize some months this bonus might have a higher share value, other months it might have a lower share value. Most recently, it has been a share value of around $50 US. So that's been fairly consistent over the last several months, but that share value could fluctuate. This is a bonus that is paid to stars, senior stars, or executives, and I'm going to show exactly how to structure this bonus so that members can receive the maximum payout from it. Now, one other thing that I do like to mention at this point is something that was taught to me, long ago as part of being involved with compensation, is that when you have members in your organization that you're trying to help grow and build to a level of executive or silver, if they're not qualifying to earn all that they possibly can as part of a compensation plan, then, and you're the only one benefiting, then not everyone's going to be happy as they go along this path of trying to build a business and build an organization. You want everyone to try and be maximizing as much as they can the compensation plan and trying to earn all that they possibly can based on their efforts. And then everyone can enjoy those benefits and everyone can be happy as they go along this journey and along this path. So as part of this, the star, senior star, or executives are the only ones who can qualify to be paid the bonus as they structure. And this bonus does have a limit of 24 months of payout based on the first month that a member might earn the bonus. So the first time a member qualifies and earns the bonus, that starts the 24-month process. And whether or not the member continues to earn the bonus each month, or if they rank advance and no longer qualify to earn the bonus because they rank advance to silver or gold, that 24-month clock is still ticking as part of the first time that they may have ever achieved the bonus. So let's talk about how they're going to earn the first share for this particular bonus. What you want to do is you want to be sponsoring members who are completing 100 PV Essential Rewards auto ship and who have also started to build their organization to the point of 300 OGV, or 300 organization group volume. Now, as soon as you have 3 members that you have personally sponsored who have 100 PV Essential Rewards auto ship and 300 OGV, you would qualify to receive 1 share of this bonus. And again, that share value can fluctuate, it can change month to month, but has typically been over the last several months around $50 US. Okay, and then that will help you to achieve the rank of star, because at this point you would have 100 PV and a minimum of 500 organization group volume, and so you would achieve the rank of star. Now, at this point, you would want to identify out of these 3 members, which 2 are going to be your leaders. And maybe all 3 are going to be leaders. That would be fantastic. But at least 2 of them, which of the 2 are wanting to become leaders? Because you're going to now help those 2 members to build to 500 to 100 PV essential rewards and 500 OGV. And you can see that if you have, once you've helped 2 of those members build to 100 PV and 500 OGV, you now would need to replace those spots that they had at the 100 PV and 300 OGV level with 2 new members. Because at this point, you need to have a minimum of 5 members that you have personally sponsored. And so you're helping 2 to grow their organizations from 300 OGV to 500 OGV, and then you're replacing those 2 members with new members at 100 PV essential rewards auto ship and 300 OGV. Once you've done that, you now achieve the additional 2 shares of this bonus for a total of 3 shares that you can be paid on for the bonus, with, again, the share value being somewhere around $50 US. And this will help you to advance to the level of senior star, because at this point you would have a minimum of 100 PV and 2,000 OGV in your organization. Now from there, you're going to continue helping those same 2 members that have the 100 PV and 500 OGV to advance to 100 PV and 1,000 OGV. And you're going to find 2 members from your 100 PV and 300 PV pool to build them to the 100 PV, 500 PV level. And then you're going to replace those 2 members that have been building with, again, new members with a 100 PV and 300 OGV level, so that you now have a total of 7 members that you have personally sponsored. This will then allow you to have an additional 3 shares of the bonus for a total payout of 6 shares. And this will also help you to build to the level of executive, because now you will have 100 PV, you're going to have 4,000 organizational group volume, and you'll have your 2 legs that you need with the 100 PV and 1,000 OGV. So that will take you to that executive level, building to this particular bonus. Now, the next question that I usually like to ask when looking at this particular slide is, how many legs does a member need in order to reach the rank of Royal Crown Diamond? Now, I haven't shown a slide. Well, there was a slide last night. It was one of the beginning slides that kind of showed the entire compensation plan. But the number of legs that are required to become a Royal Crown Diamond is 6 legs. So in essence, by building to this bonus, the Rising Star Team bonus, you've now built that foundation in order to help your organization grow so that you can become a Royal Crown Diamond. The next step that would be required would be to help each of the legs within your organization. You would have a 7th leg, 1 extra, that would not even necessarily be used as part of the qualification requirement for your for rank advancing to Royal Crown Diamond. But you would have the 6 legs necessary in order to build to that new leadership rank, and you would just need to help now build the volume in each of those legs. And it's not so much you helping to build that volume, but it's in building leaders and training leaders within your organization and within each of those legs to grow and to build so that they can achieve their goals. And in essence, that is helping you also to achieve your goal in rank advancement. So this is a fantastic bonus to build towards, and it helps to build that foundation that's needed within an organization so that you can reach the level of Royal Crown Diamond, which sometimes can seem a little daunting, but then, if you just start with the foundation, that can help you to build to that higher level. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. We're going to now start talking about what silvers and higher ranked members can receive, similar to the Rising Star Team bonus. Because this Rising Star Team bonus is only paid to stars, senior stars, and executives, we have something different that is available for anyone who is paid at the rank of silver or higher. And at the rank of silver or higher, you get paid two ways. So instead of that Rising Star Team bonus, you are instead paid a percentage on the volume of your personal group and leadership generations. And the second way is you're paid on shares you receive according to your monthly qualified rank. And it's called the Generation Leadership Bonus. And we're going to go into more detail about that here in a minute. But similar to the Rising Star Team bonus, where Young Living takes 1% of global commissionable sales, with the Generation Leadership Bonus, Young Living takes 6.25% of global commissionable sales for the month, and then divides that amount by the members who are achieving the rank of silver or higher and the shares that they would earn to determine what the share value is. And that share value again can fluctuate. It can change month to month. It can go up or it could go down depending on the global commissionable sales for the month and the number of members that qualify to be paid that bonus, as well as the number of shares they qualify to be paid on. So let's first talk about the number one, the percentage of being paid on the volume of your personal group and leadership generations. So to do that, we have what's called generation pay. So earlier I had mentioned that Young Living has its compensation plan is a hybrid unilevel breakaway plan. Well, the breakaway aspect of this plan is the generation payout. So within Young Living, we call it generations. Within the industry, it's usually referred to as a breakaway type payout. So what this really means, though, is that you are able to receive additional commission payout as you achieve the rank of silver or higher, and as you help other members within your organization to achieve that leadership rank as well. That's why building wider and deeper is going to earn you greater payout, because as you become a leader yourself, you want to try and develop leaders within your organization, leaders being silver or higher ranked members. And that is going to help to increase your payout. So the personal generation, the best way for me to describe personal generation, as a silver, if you don't have any silver members underneath you, if you have no other silvers in your organization under you, that personal generation would mean that you are able to achieve an additional 2.5% payout on all of the volume in your entire organization, because you have no other silvers under you. So all of the volume in your organization is your personal generation. Well, last night we talked about how much volume is required to qualify to become a silver, and that entails 10,000 organization group volume. So you would receive an additional 2.5% on all of that entire 10,000 organizational group volume. As you start to build silvers within your organization, that would mean that you would be paid on all the volume outside of that silver at the 2.5%. But as soon as you've built a silver underneath you, that silver would be considered generation level 2 in your organization, and you would be paid 3% on all of the volume within that silver who's underneath you, down to the next silver underneath them. And maybe they don't have a silver under them as they first begin to build and rank advance to silver themselves. And so you would then be paid 3% on the commissions for all of the volume that they have in their organization, which is going to be a minimum of the 10,000 OGV required to rank advance to the level of silver. And then as they begin to build silvers under them, you can still be paid generation level 3, which would be 3% on any silver underneath them. So that allows you to build silvers at least within 2 levels underneath you and still be paid on all the volume that's coming into your organization. Hopefully, this also helps you to realize just why it's so important to try and build within 3 levels of your organization. Because if you think about it, under personal generation as a silver, and assuming that you have no other silvers underneath you, you're the only silver in your organization, there's no other silver below you, you're going to receive unilevel commissions on anyone that you've personally sponsored at 8%, but you would also receive that additional 2.5% of personal generation payout. So that can actually turn into a 10.5% payout on the volume for anyone that you've personally sponsored. Or anyone that they've personally sponsored, you would get paid unilevel level 2 at 5%, and that could really be it could really be a total payout of 7.5% when you include personal generation if you're being paid at the rank of silver or higher. So again, that's the importance of trying to build your organization so that you're building within the first 3 levels, because it really helps to strengthen the amount of payout that you can receive, especially as you rank advance to silver or higher. Now, you will notice that depending on the rank that you achieve will determine the number of levels that you can be paid generation commissions on. So if you're a silver and you have a silver underneath you, and they've built a silver underneath them, and then that member's built a silver under them, that would be considered generation level 4. And you, as a silver, you would not qualify to be paid on that generation until you rank advanced to gold. And then at gold, you can see that you're paid 3 generations deep, but in order to be paid on a 4th generation deep, if you happen to have members that are building that far deep, you would have to rank advanced to platinum, and so on and so forth. So again, this is all about progression. It's all about, just like the qualification that we talked about last night, where you are progressing as you build to executive and then silver and then gold. The same thing applies as you are building new leaders within your organization. It's a progression. As you start to build new leaders deeper within your organization, you also need to be prepared to rank advance from silver to gold and gold to platinum if you plan on being paid on the volume deeper within your organization. Okay? So let's go ahead and talk about that second aspect, which was the generation leadership bonus. So this is the one where Young Living takes 6.25% of global commissionable sales and divides that by the number of members and the number of shares that those members qualify to be paid on to determine what the share value is for this particular bonus. And so the share value can fluctuate. It can go up or down depending on a few factors within the month. As a silver leader, you, for yourself, even if you had no other silvers under you, you would qualify for 1 share, because you as a silver would receive 1 share of this bonus. And then as you build additional silvers under you, you qualify to be paid on those silvers as well, 1 share for each silver that you may build within your organization. And as you advance to gold, you would receive 2 shares for being gold yourself. And if you have any gold members underneath you, you would receive 2 shares for those gold members. Now, the way this bonus works, though, it does have a couple of limitations, meaning that if you are a silver and someone under you has rank advanced to gold, you receive 1 share for yourself as silver, and you would receive only 1 share for that member under you, even though they might be a gold. You are limited to the shares based on what your rank is for the month, and not necessarily determined by the rank of the member underneath you. However, that member under you as a gold, they themselves will receive 2 shares for being a gold. So the other limitation is that, again, if we remember that you get paid generation commissions based on, you get paid so many levels of generation commissions based on your rank. So as a silver, you get paid personal generation, and then generation level 2 and generation level 3. So if you have generation level 4 and you're not being paid generation commissions on those silver or higher ranked leaders at that level because you have not yet rank advanced to gold, you're also not going to receive this generation leadership bonus, the shares from it, until you rank advance and are able to be paid generation commissions deep enough within your organization as well. So it's not only a benefit to rank advance when you have leaders that are building far enough deep in your organization to be paid the generation commissions, but it's also beneficial to rank advance because you're going to earn more in the generation leadership bonus as well. So this next slide kind of shows that breakdown again. Shares according to your rank. As a silver, you receive 1 share. And for every silver under you for which you are paid generation commissions on, you would receive 1 share for each of them. And then as a gold, you receive 2 shares. And for any gold under you, you would receive, any gold or higher ranked member, you would receive 2 shares for each of them. But if you have silvers under you, which oftentimes when you're first starting to build an organization, that's what happens. You may rank advance to gold, but you may have most of the leaders under you are silver. You're only going to receive 1 share for each of those silver members until they rank advance to gold, at which point you would then start receiving 2 shares for each of them. So it says at the bottom of this slide, shares you receive cannot be greater than your paid as rank, and to receive more shares, you must achieve a higher rank and help build additional leaders in your organization. So all of this really does play into building leaders within your organization. Now, the next few slides kind of talk about the Essential Rewards Auto-Ship program, which most likely this is something that many members are well aware of as they begin the sign-up process and decide to become a member of Young Living. But it's just something that I like to put into the presentation to remind everyone, if you're earning commissions or if you're helping to build leaders within your organization and these members are earning commissions, it is beneficial to them to be a part of this Essential Rewards Auto-Ship program simply because it helps them to earn reward points that they can then redeem for products that are free to them. And so there's no reason why, if a member is not, or if a member is earning commissions, why they would not want to be a part of this program because of the benefits that come from it. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time other than just to point out that each month as a member participates in the program, they earn a percentage based on their auto-ship volume, their Essential Rewards auto-ship volume, and that leads to free product. So within the first 6 months, a member can earn 10% on their Essential Rewards auto-ship volume, and then from month 7 to 12, 15%, and months 13 and on, 20%. And then here is a slide that kind of shows the breakdown of what that computes into as far as a value that can be redeemed for product. So you can see within the first 6 months, that totals up to roughly 60 PV. And then within the next 6 months, it's a total of 90 PV. So within the first year, a member could actually be receiving 150 PV. That should be PV worth of free products. And then from months 13 and on, as it goes to 12 or to 20%, that totals 240 PV worth of free products for the second year and from then on out. So the Essential Rewards Auto-Ship program is very, very beneficial. There are some limitations as far as to the number of points that you can redeem for the month, but there is no limit to the number of points that you can earn for the month. Um, the points do expire, so it is important to remind members in your organization to use those points so that they don't get caught having them expire and not being able to redeem them for the free products that they may want. Now, the next part of this particular presentation talks about how to attract the right people for your business. It's very important that as you start to build your organization, you identify early on who your leaders are going to be. And the reason for that is because, again, you cannot do all of the work all on your own. You have to have leaders that are willing to help work with you and build with you so that everyone is helping to grow their own organization, and that in turn helps to grow your organization, because you can't do it by yourself. You've got to have help. You've got to have good leadership that's supporting you. So just a few bullet points as to who you might want to try and attract. Look for personalities, individuals that are good conversationalists, someone who is a good people person, as they say. Those are going to be individuals that can really work with others and talk about Young Living and talk about the business and know how to say the right thing at the right time. You're also maybe going to want to find someone with a burning desire that has a need. There are lots of reasons why someone might want to build an organization, and one of them is a need that they have in their life. Some of the members that I've met, they started out just wanting to have enough in commissions to either pay for their monthly Essential Rewards auto ship order, or just enough to pay for a small expense that they had in their life, whether it be a car payment or a house payment or tuition to go to school. And so there is oftentimes a burning desire or a need in order to make enough just to help cover an expense that someone may have in their life. And so this can be enough for someone to have that desire to build an organization. Look for those who are interested in a healthy lifestyle, that want to live a better, healthier life. That's some of the best members that we have as far as using the products. And so as they use the products and share those products with others, and they have that enthusiasm, it actually rolls over into other people's lives, and that can help them to start sharing and start signing up, and before you know it, they start to see their organization growing. Again, some are going to need a little extra money for expenses. I already mentioned that. That kind of goes along with the burning desire or a need, because someone may be in a situation where they just need a few $100s a month in order to help with some extra expenses, and this would be one of those ways that they can do that. And then you're going to find those members who are looking for a home-based business. They want to actually build a business that they can have, that they can work from home. And that's the wonderful thing about Young Living, is that this allows members to put in the amount of time that they choose and put in the amount of effort that they choose in order to build their organization. So one of the quotes that Zig Ziglar has is, if you help others get what they want, you'll get what you want too. And I love that quote because it's not just about yourself, but it's also about helping others. And so you want to try and help those members within your organization to become leaders. And that in and of itself is going to help you to become a better leader yourself. And then what's really the secret of success? All of this that we've talked about last night and tonight, it compiles into the secret of success, which is going out there and just doing this, just sharing with others, helping them to see the benefits that they can earn through the Essential Rewards program, through the Fast Start bonus, through the Rising Star Team bonus. All of these things are benefits and helps so that individuals can be leaders and build to a leadership level. So that's the end of the presentation. I hope that's been beneficial and helpful to everyone. I'm happy to help answer any questions that you might have or that you may have thought about during the presentation.
So if you have any questions, please write them in the Q&A box. I have one from Jen. Earlier on, we were talking about compression. And she asks, how does compression affect the leg if it is a leg for a rank, for example, the fourth leg on level 1? And the order is 50 PV, then the next 2 levels under are 100 PV. Does that person still qualify you for platinum based on that those orders make up the 8,000 PV?
If the person at the top of the leg only has less than 100 PV, then we will look down to the next level. And if the person under them has 100 PV and they have 8,000 OGV under them, then that leg will still qualify for the platinum rank. If, however, we are looking down and the next person who has 100 PV does not meet the minimum OGV requirement for whatever rank the upline is trying to achieve, then it will not qualify them. So they still have to have the OGV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rona is just clarifying we need to build within our top 3 levels for generation bonus.
It's best to build within those top 3 levels. It doesn't mean that that's exactly what has to be done, but it's going to bring about better benefits if you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, unless there's any more questions, we'll leave it at that. Marina says, thanks for a great presentation. I agree. Thank you very much. You're
welcome.
Opened up some new ideas for us in interpreting the compensation plan. And we look forward to hearing you again at the weekend. So Debbie says, very good, thanks. Matu says, thank you. Another great, clear explanation. And I'd agree with that too. So thank you very much, everyone. We'll leave it there and look forward to seeing you again soon. And hope that this compensation plan training brings you much wealth and makes your dreams come true, which of course is what it's all about. Thanks, everyone. Good night.